Yo there guys, what is up? Luke Games, and today we are doing episode 4 of
Mythbusters.
And today the myth is, do items burn in lava? Now this is a very big question. A lot of people know the answer, but there were some people less puzzled because they think that it is Minecraft when it's not. So basically, items do burn in lava, but only certain items. Now, I'll learn this one off Happy Days. I'll leave his channel in the description if you don't know who he is. Basically, when he was building a farm, he said if you use one little strip of lava, so just one bucket, you'll get a really thin strip, and you'll only just be able to see the orange tip of it. Then things will not burn. And we're going to test this out. So I'm just going to throw a low tier item. It has to be a blue tier item or below. So anything blue tier and below could be things like blocks. It can be things like coins, platforms, things like that. And any crafting things. And grey is the lowest tier, so that'll be all the junk stuff. White is, I'd say, things like furniture and walls. And then blue can be weapons and armor. Early on, though. Only early armors. So this could be things like wood. And we'll test that out with wood as well. We'll go get some wood and test that. So, things like that. Banners, trophies, masks, and hard mode dies. So things like that. That's blue tier. Now, anything like the razor pine. The razor pine is a orange tier, I think. Or higher than that. So it's higher than a blue tier. So we're going to test this out anyway. Get straight into it. Now, we're going to test it with the one strip of lava first. So here's the coin. Drop it in. And look, it doesn't burn. We'll test it with a wire. Once again, doesn't burn. We'll test it with a weapon. And once again, doesn't burn. So now we've got that, we'll test it in the 2-pot. So here we are with the 2-pot. If we drop it in from here, I think this will be a reasonable place to drop it in from. So if we just press RT on it and drop it in. Alright, we need to stand a little bit higher. So here should be good. So we'll drop it in, the platinum coin, and this should burn. There we go. So it disappeared. It wasn't this platinum coin here, because I would have threw that one. So if we stand near the edge again and show you that again, it does burn. And obviously in the bigger pool of lava, it does burn as well. So let's test it with a weapon. If we throw the weapon in the smaller lava now, it isn't actually going to get in there. So what we can do is we can make it a little bit bigger here. What I'll do is I'll bring it out. And then this is just like my test chamber. So I'll bring it out a bit. And then I think it was 2 buckets of lava. Right, that's 2 buckets of lava. Let's just test it. So this is with 2 buckets of lava. Now it burns. So coins burn. And we'll test the bar, which should burn. Alright, the bar doesn't burn. So it's a higher tier item, obviously. Now, if we try the bar in the bigger bit of lava, it burns. So, depending on the size of the item, I think it'll burn. So if we try the slime blocks, that should burn, and it does. So if we try a weapon, however, in this is a higher tier item. So the magnet sphere, that doesn't burn. We'll try with other high tier items like the razor pine. So you've got no worries if you are farming with lava. You've got no worries of the items disappearing. But if you are going for banners and things like that, let's just go get a banner and I'll show you what I mean. If you're farming for banners, then I'd stay away from lava. If we just grab this and then we grab, I think we'll just grab these banners for now. They're not proper banners, but they're blue banners from the dungeon. So we'll just grab that. And if you put this in here, you've got a chance of it burning. Now, it didn't burn in there. So depending on the size of the item, I think it matters as well. So if we throw this blue banner in here, it's burnt. If we go in, yep, can't pick it up. No blue banner. So now, let's test the shroomite bar. So this is shroomite bar. It doesn't burn because it's higher than a blue tier weapon. Now, I'm going to leave all the tiers below in the description. And you can check them on the wiki. I'll leave the link as well. Like say, Happy Days, his channel will be below. So we're going to try the Destroyer trophy now. We'll try that in the smaller one. Now, I think this is too big. So that's too big to burn. But if you put it in this, then it's okay. So the destroyer trophy is okay. I think it's more like lower tier trophies then. The magnet sphere shouldn't burn, and it doesn't. The cutlass might burn. The cutlass doesn't burn either, but if we test something like... Oh, I'm going to die. If we test something like the golden key, that will burn. So anything like that will burn, and an empty bucket burns because it's a lower tier item. Now let's test the bar. So the bars do burn in higher tier, well, more lava. So if we try the godly raised bar, it doesn't burn. So you've got to optimize your traps. If you are doing a trap like this one over here, it is really recommended to just use one tier of lava, or one little sheet of lava, whatever you want to call it. Now this is too much lava. The coins will burn in this. Any frozen slime blocks will burn. Coins will burn. That is too much. So if you want to pick it back up, all you have to do is make some buckets and literally just take the lava out until you've got one thin sheet of lava. So we're gonna just take all that lava up now. If we just keep... okay. So things will still burn in that. As you see, the coins burn. But if you do bring it up with iron, then you can... Well, the iron buckets, then you can make one thin layer. And I think it'll be really helpful for you guys. So that's the myth that has been busted. Things can burn, but only if they are below blue tier. So hopefully that's cleared up some confusion. If you are farming, remember all of the rare items you get, such as weapons and things like that, should be safe. Let's just test this Alf shirt. See, the Alf shirt did burn, so you've got to be really careful with things like that, because it is a vanity, and if you are farming the Frost Moon, then it could potentially burn, so you're wasting materials and things that you could have got. The Bone Feather didn't burn because it's a higher tier item. Swamp and Slane couldn't put the fire out. Hopefully that clears up a few of your questions, guys. Like I say, all of it will be in the description. You can go check that out. But anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed. Please leave a like and subscribe. Stay frosty and peace.